Whatever it takes. Hopefully the Blazers will do whatever it takes to get a nice victory tonight as they take on the New York Knicks. And this is on the heels of their last game, which was a pretty brutal defeat at the hands of the worst team in the NBA, the Washington Wizards. Welcome into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Getting you ready for this ball game. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can also hit us up on the text line, 88528, or youtube.com. Type in Riv City Radio, and you can join the chat there as well. Lots of ways to get in on the chat, have some fun here. And, it'll be interesting. If I sound distracted, it's because I am just a little bit, thanks to our producer here, Brendan Slaughter, telling me some news just across the wire. And it is true, but news from Brady Henderson and Seth Wickersham of ESPN is that the Seahawks will go up for sale immediately after the Super Bowl. Could set a record for an NFL team priced $7 to $8 billion. Yikes. So there you go. That is interesting news because, as you know, the Blazers currently owned by Jody Allen, who is heading the Paul Allen estate. They are still working out the final legs of the sale to Tom Dundon, and that will move on there. Blazers will have new ownership moving into the future. The next question was what would happen with the Seahawks, and it looks like the Seahawks' future might get a little bit clearer. Of course, Jody Allen doing her best to leave with a Super Bowl ring before it's all said and done. That wouldn't be too bad. Now back to basketball. My friends, my well-wishers, my listeners. It was a rough one. 3 nights ago in the nation's capital, and we got to talk about it. Unfortunately, I know Thiago Splitter always talks about just flushing it and moving on to the next, but here on Blazers Game Day, we got to recap what happened, what got us here. As the Blazers got Denny Avdia back, things were looking like they're going to be good. They were going to have a game against the worst team in the NBA. I don't want to necessarily say it could have been a get-right game, but could have been a get-right game, should have been a get-right game. It was not a get-right game. The Blazers went into the nation's capital and struggled again against the worst team in the NBA. And I am not saying that like they are the worst team in the NBA because they can. Now, the stats tell you that they're the worst team in the NBA. The standings tell you that they are the worst team in the NBA. Currently, they are 12-34. There are 4 teams in the NBA right now with just 12 wins, Washington being one of them. They would have not been a team with 12 wins had they not beaten the Blazers just a few nights ago. So a rough one. Now, we talked about it going into that game. The thing about the NBA is we are talking about the top 1% of all basketball players on the planet. Those are the ones who suit up and rep the NBA. So you can't take nights off. You have to be ready to go. Otherwise, you will be beaten. So I am not acting as if the Washington Wizards are a JV squad with a bunch of no-name guys who have no NBA talent and have zero business beating another NBA team, because that's just not the case. They are just very, very young. They aren't as talented as some of the other teams who are stacked with talent, but they're still an NBA team. So you have to be focused, lasered in, play your best game. Otherwise, if you stumble, it's no telling how far you might fall. A team like Washington will take advantage. They are not 0-46. They are 12-34. Far more losses than wins, but it doesn't mean they don't have the ability to win those games. In fact, they've won 2 in a row now. 2 in a row. Winning streak in the nation's capital. And part of the reason they were able to really stick in this one is because of that young core. There's no give. There is no give. It's just all go, 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 go. All hands on deck type of mentality where they're just going to go at you nonstop. And if they get knocked down, they're going to try to get back up. But oftentimes they just don't have the horses to win the race. In this one, the Blazers just struggled. They shot 38% from the field, 36% from the free throw line. And the worst part about it was for the second night in a row, they missed 10 shots from the free throw line. Portland was just 13 of 23. And in a game that was decided by just 4 points. It was 115 to 111. Those shots mattered. Not only that, free throw wise, Washington did make 5 more free throws. They only went to the line 21 times. They missed 3. So they missed 3 to Portland's 10. That's a difference right there. And then being lazy with the basketball, Portland turned the ball over 20 times. And I've talked a lot about the little stretch they were on where they had the turnover numbers below their season average, which was about 17. They actually saw their turnovers per game average drop by almost, fall by almost an entire turnover after a good 10-game stretch of real good ball security. Not in this one. 20 turnovers that turned into 29 points off turnovers. So your points off turnovers, Washington had 12 more points there. They had 5 more points from the free throw line. Didn't leave freebies up there like you did. And they win this game by 4 points. So you did a couple things in this game where you let them stay in it. And the worst thing you can do against a team like Washington or a team like Indiana or a team like Sacramento or New Orleans, those are the 4 worst teams in the NBA. The worst thing you can do when you play them is give them breathing room. Because back to my point about these are all NBA teams. Sacramento has really good players on their team. New Orleans has really good players on their team. So does Indiana. So does Washington. So does Brooklyn, who's also a 12-win team. But if you let them have breathing room and you let them stay in the game, that's where they find a little bit of a rhythm, and that's where they can knock you off. And that's what happened in this one. Defensively, they found their rhythm. They knocked the Blazers off a little bit. They forced those turnovers, got those points off turnovers. They kind of made the Blazers feel uncomfortable, and then they played their game. Looking at the individual box score in this one, we're going to start on the Washington side of things, as we always do. Keyshawn George had 19 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 19 points from the old man on the floor, Chris Middleton, 29 points from Alex Sarr. I think 20 of them came in the first half. He was having one heck of a game. He also had 12 rebounds and, count this, 6 blocked shots. He's been incredible on the defensive end. For all the talk everyone talks about Oklahoma City and Victor Wembanyama, Alex Sarr has been great. Washington came into this game as one of the top shot-blocking teams in the NBA, thanks to Sarr averaging more than 2 per game. My key to the game was to attack. Maybe get them in foul trouble. Understand that you might get some shots blocked, but try to get to the free throw line. And Blazers did try to do that. They got to the free throw line 23 times. The thing is, when you get to the free throw line, you got to start converting. You cannot miss 10 of them as a team. That was a rough night. 18 points from Trey Johnson, 11 points from Bud Carrington off of the bench to lead the Washington bench in scoring. On the Blazers side of things, Toumani Camara, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. He had a single block shot. I thought he had a pretty good game. He was 6 of 11 from the floor, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. And after a stretch of some rough runs, he's starting to put it back together again. This is the exact type of game that I want to see from Toumani Camara every single night. If he's getting you 15, 16 points, if not more, that's great. Killing it on the glass, getting you assists, playing good defense. That's what you want from Toumani. Donovan Clingan, 14 points and an insane 20 rebounds. 20 of them. He was not messing around. He was another one of our keys to the game. Take care of the glass, control it, get your offensive boards. He did his part. He's been incredible on the glass this year. I mean, record setting. You got to give him his praise. He absolutely deserves it. So shout out to Donovan Clingan. I mean, it's no small task to go out there and get 20 flipping rebounds on that night, especially when you're the guy who's kind of called upon to go clean the glass. They all know that you're going to be aggressive. You're going to be out there going to be going crazy. And in this one, he finished that game, like I said, a career-high 13 offensive rebounds with those 20 rebounds. That's the most in a game in Trailblazers history and the most by any player in an NBA game this season. Pretty good. His 14-point, 20-rebound performance is the 17th double-double of the season for him as well. Shaedon Sharpe, probably the best player on the floor, not named Alex Sarr, and probably debate that he might have been better than Alex Sarr. He was 11 of 20, 5 of 9 from beyond the arc. He had 31 points. He was getting his. It was the rest of the offensive struggle. Drew Holiday, who's been very good and has not had a lot of bad games, had a rough one. He had 5 points. He was 0 of 4 from beyond the arc, 2 of 4 from the floor. He had 7 rebounds and 5 assists. So he's finding things to do elsewhere, but the shot just was not falling. And then Jeremy Grant, who early in the year when he was coming off the bench was playing like sixth man of the year, he struggled in this one as well. He ended the night with just 6 points. The Blazers were led off of the bench by Ryan Rupert, who had 10 points and continues his very good string of play as of late. He's been getting on that floor. He's been very good defensively. Offense is starting to come around, but the biggest thing is he's just taking advantage of the opportunity, and that is something you got to love. Got to love the fact that he's taking advantage of that. Looking at the chat, David says, "Is there an update on Denny?" Yeah, he's good to go. He's fine. He's fine. You got to shake off the rust a little bit. Last the team checked on the health update was that he was questionable, as was Robert Williams. I'm pretty sure those 2 days off are going to help him get locked in. I promise you, if we get an update prior to the show ending, because Coach Tiago Splitter should be talking down there in about 10, 15 minutes. And our Sean Hyken is on the road for this. So as soon as we get an official update on what he says to the media, we will definitely let you know. But he should be good to go. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't. If he was good to go against Washington, no major ailments, he should be ready. It's just, you got to have him. He's been an all-star, man. He's been absolutely incredible. So we'll see what happens. And again, as soon as we get an update, I'll definitely let you know. We also have Jackson Friedman. Just says, Chris. Is that like Con? For all you Trekkies out there. Well, Jackson, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for the comments. Hopefully tonight the Blazers go into New York and give you a reason to yell like that, but you're yelling Rip City at the top of your lungs because they play a better basketball game than they did against Washington. Again, the biggest thing that they did in that game was they let Washington breathe. And then in doing so, Washington finally got to a point where they knocked them off their game. You got to play a great game to beat just about any team in the NBA. It's hard to go through the motions, have an off night, and still win. There are teams who are good enough to do that. Portland is just not one of them yet. And now they go to New York where they have to play perfect. I thought the Blazers played a hell of a game against the Knicks back on January 11th, a game that they lost 123-114. They just got beat by a team with a lot of vets who hit big shots late, took advantage of the situations. But the Blazers played well. They need to do that tonight. That's what I want to see. I want to see a rebound. And I'm not talking about Donovan cleaning the glass. I'm talking about the team rebounding in a way that they go, okay, there we go. There's the Blazers we've been rooting for all season. That's the team that started off hot to begin the 2026 year. You don't even have to win the game. How you play tonight matters. I do not think the team played wonderfully in Washington. This is Blazers Game Day. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. We're here getting you ready for this game tonight in New York. Final game of this road trip before the Blazers return home to take on the Cavs on Sunday. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can also hit us up on the text line, 88528, or join the chat over on YouTube. Just type in Rip City Radio. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to head to the Coach's Corner, hear from head coach Tiago Splitter at practice this week. We're also going to hear from one of the guys I was praising just a second ago, Ryan Rupert, who also talked to the media. We'll do that and plenty more coming up after the break here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you, and it is time now for the Coach's Corner. Now, before we get there, though, Jackson in the YouTube comment was talking about Jason Quick's feature on Denny, which is it's a great article. Go read it. Jason does a great job with those deep dives. But he said he mentioned that Denny likes the Thai restaurant down on Williams. Was it EM? EEM. I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize because I've never been there. I've never been to a lot of Thai food restaurants, but it's on my list now. He said I gotta go try it because Denny tried it. Yeah, it's on my list now. Every once in a while, you drive through Southeast Portland. Sometimes, like going down Division, going down Powell, and I'm like, there's some just little hole in the wall spots that are so good, just so good. The food scene in Portland, it's good. Like we gotta tip our hat to it. It wouldn't be Blazers Game Day when Brendan's producing, even if he's not on the mic, if I wasn't talking about food. It's just how it goes around here. Come to Blazers Game Day, where we talk about the Blazers, get you ready for the upcoming matchup, and also help you decide what's for dinner. We do a lot around here. But it is time for the Coach's Corner, so let's hear from head coach Tiago Splitter, who talked to the media at practice yesterday.
Well, Coach, just your thoughts on practice today. What were you guys able to get accomplished today?
Well, we had 20 turnovers last game, so we work on taking care of the ball, get better reads. Those non-forced turnovers was a little bit of focus, and so we got to get better at that. So that was part of it. Defense as well. We talked about the Knicks, how we're going to guard them and stuff like that. So get some shots up and also trying to flush the legs a little bit, move a little bit, and get ready for tomorrow.
What are some of the things that the Knicks do well that you guys need to be prepared for?
Sorry, say it again?
What are some of the things the Knicks do well that you need to be prepared for?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Brunson runs their offense, so in pick and roll with Cat over there. It's a difficult matchup for anybody in the league. That and the offense rebound. We got to be prepared. Last time, Cat had a lot of offense rebound. We got to get better at that. So those are a few things that we work today.
I just spoke with Roops a second ago, and I said to him, seems like a little fierier, a little more aggressive, and he agreed. He said that is kind of something he's focusing on. What are you seeing from Roops as of late?
Yeah, I mean, he's been the whole season aggressive on defense, slowly getting more confidence on offense, shooting the ball better, driving, taking care of the ball. So those are the things that he's improving and getting better.
Seems like Scoot's moving pretty well out there from what we're able to see. How much is he doing now?
Yeah, I mean, as you see, he's able to do some contact now, getting better. I don't have a day for you yet, but he's doing a lot of the things that we've been asking and feeling well after practice.
Pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah.
Pretty close. What about Blake Wesley? About to be 12 weeks for the team.
Kind of same. He's really looking good. Like I said, they're doing contact today and getting better, but I don't have a day for you.
Would you say that what they're in now is like the final stages of?
Probably, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there you hear from Coach, and the biggest takeaway from that was the news that he would say that both Blake Wesley and Scoot Henderson are in the final stages of approaching their return. And we talked about Wesley when that injury first happened. You understood that was going to be a long time before he got back. The break in the foot, obviously. And most of us kind of thought post All-Star break. I mean, All-Star break is in about 2 weeks now. So we're right on that cusp. And it does sound like Scoot Henderson is getting pretty close as well. So I can't wait for that. And gosh, I just hope that Scoot gets out there and just looks like he did last year. If he looks better, great. If he looks worse, oh gosh, I just need the Scoot that ended the year last season, where he was in control. He was having good games, runs that offense. I really do believe this, that with the injuries that you've seen to this team this year, it's really crucial that you get him back, and it's also proven his value. I think without playing a game, he has proven his value because he has shown how important it is to have someone who knows how to run the offense. And he knows how to run the offense. Absolutely he does. So you give him credit for that. It's like, hey, we'll put you out there. You know what you're doing. You can run our pick and rolls. You can find the open guy. You can do those things we need you to do. He has value there. So can't wait to see him back. And my guess would still be, is, again, as we get closer to All-Star break, continue to pencil that in and see where it has it. Coming back after All-Star break, everyone gets a break. No one, it just makes sense. I really, really hope to get him here because I know people are frustrated. I get it. A lot of people didn't like the whole 4 to 8 weeks thing and how that has exploded and become what it is, and it's been much longer. You just want to see him back on the court. I do too. I absolutely do too. But don't let it get lost on you too that some of the guys on the court have been exceptional. Like Caleb Love's been exceptional, and City Sissoko's been great. And this has been a fun year, honestly, for those end of the bench guys because I think you're trying to start to see some people maybe separate themselves a little bit or understand that their spot on the roster is not guaranteed and not safe, and therefore they're playing some good basketball because of it. And one of those guys is Ryan Rupert. I think if you would have asked us in November, early December, who was the odd guy out, I think I would have said without hesitation probably Ryan Rupert because Chris Murray was getting his minutes. Caleb Love was just starting to come into his own. City Sissoko was filling up those minutes, but Roops had still had some ups and downs. Over the last handful of games, though, he's been really, really good. Absolutely incredible, honestly. He's been giving you exactly what you need from him. He's been playing good defense. He's been making the right plays. He's been forcing turnovers. And again, I'm not sitting here saying start him. He's going to be an all-star. But for what your expectations are versus what he's giving you, it's in the plus side. And that's great. I think he's really, really had the best stretch of his career and is proving why you want to keep him around because I still think he has plenty of room to grow. It's about hitting that potential. But he did have a chance to talk to the media at practice as well.
Just recently, you seem to have a little, I guess I would say, fieriness to you, a little edge. Have you felt that way, like a little extra aggressive?
Yeah, I try to play aggressive on both ends of the floor, especially defensively. That's my strength, that's my power. I try to be disruptive with my length every time I step on the floor and bring energy for my team.
Where does that come from? Where does that come from?
I always used to play like that, especially when I was younger. Steal the ball, use my length to be disruptive. I was the stuff I was doing when I was younger, so I just try to do it consistently now.
Overall, you guys are having a very good January. I know you would have loved to have won those last couple games, but what is really kind of clicking for you guys as a team on both ends?
We're playing hard on both ends of the floor with aggressiveness, power, energy every time. Everybody loves each other, We support each other on the court and off the court. So, yeah, we have a very good chemistry.
People will ask me, fans of the team, like, do they really like each other that much? And I say, I really do believe they do. It's true, right?
Yeah, we're a young team with some vet, And even off the court, we're doing some stuff together, like dinner together, stuff like that. So, yeah, we have a good team. I love those guys.
And finally, Donovan, the way he's been able to rebound the ball this season, how helpful has that been for you and the rest of the team with second chance points, etc.?
He's huge, He's playing very great this year. He deserves everything he got right now. Yeah, like you say, rebound, just connect the screen every time, and he's doing so many things for us this year. So, yeah, I'm glad to have him on the team.
Last question, I just thought of this one. This one is for Kevin and Lamar. They think you grow, or your wingspan grows every single year. They're like, it just keeps growing. What would you say to them? Is that accurate?
I don't think so, honestly. 73 wingspan, but no, I think I'm good right now. 72 is good.
Thank you. Just recently.
And there you hear from Ryan Rupert. And I mean, Brooke asked it right off the bat about his aggressiveness, how he's been playing. Because yes, he's been having the best stretch of his career. Hopefully, he continues to play like that, get even better, and help contribute to some winning. And hopefully, that starts tonight with a big game against the New York Knicks. This is Blazers Game Day. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. You can follow me on social at Chris J. Burkhardt. You can also join the conversation on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and you can join the chat over there, where Dennis asks, any trade rumors? Well, maybe. It is that season. Trade deadline is about a week away. How will the Blazers approach that? Because there is some big fish who might be in there. Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of them. How does it link to the Blazers? How could the Blazers be involved? What can we expect, if anything? We'll talk about it after the break when we return here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Getting you ready for this matchup tonight and talking a little Blazer action. One of our questions, though, before we went to break was, are there any trade rumors? Any trade rumors? Could really use some of those trade rumors right now. And not like the Dave Chappelle gif. Got any more of them? Got any more of them trade rumors? Need to know what's going on with the NBA trade deadline right around the corner, February 5th. So we are rapidly approaching it. And right now it seems like it might end up being quiet unless one big domino drops. And that domino is in Milwaukee with Giannis Antetokounmpo, if he is traded or not. That is the question. He is willing to be traded at this point. He's basically requested the trade without requesting the trade. But those are the things that are really going to impact the market at this point, is who gets in on the Giannis deal, what does it take to get him, etc. Now, the Blazers have certainly started to be rumored in those talks because of a few things. It's those Milwaukee picks that they got in the Dame trade are suddenly very, very valuable. And if you're a team that is getting rid of Giannis, you might just want to get those picks back. So, of course, you look at the Blazers and how that would look. Now, to get Giannis, you're going to have to give up a lot more than those picks. You're going to have to give up probably Jeremy Grant and one of those young stars that you like. Is it a Scoot Henderson or a Shaden Sharp? I don't know. That's just probably what Milwaukee's not going to trade Giannis for just a salary dump and all their future picks. Like, I just don't see that happening. And I don't necessarily see the Blazers looking at that either and say, okay, we want to mortgage the whole farm here just for Giannis. Giannis is a better farm, but the lifespan on the farm might not be as good. So the Blazers have to really, really do their due diligence to decide how they want to approach that. I also think with Denny Avdia's emergence, they got themselves a legit star right now that they may not have thought they had when they made that trade. I think when they made that trade, they definitely thought they were getting a guy that with a lot of upside. They didn't know his upside was going to be this. So maybe that changes some things too. Now, there hasn't been any true rumors outside of just a lot of NBA trade machine and a lot of, who says no to this? Does Giannis get traded? I feel like it's starting to feel inevitable. It is starting to feel inevitable. And I get it. I think the Milwaukee team is just not built right. They went in, they got a championship, good on them, but then lost some of those key pieces, Drew Holiday being one who Giannis loves. They went out and took the swing with Dame, and that did not work. I mean, it worked. It could have won one, but the injuries hurt them, and then they just didn't have the depth around those two to really excel. So it just feels like it's going to start breaking. Now, if I'm the Blazers, if you can get Giannis to Portland, I think you take the risk. Because it's the type of move that just hasn't happened for the Blazers before. You go get a two-time MVP who's still in his prime, comes in, he wants to play with Dame, and you still got Drew Holiday on your roster who he loves, and some of your young pieces, your Tumanis, your Denny's, like that's a great team. I mean, say you had to get rid of Shaden Sharp in the deal, and you go out next year and you start Dame, Denny, Giannis, and DC. I like that. But I also understand that the idea of getting Giannis is definitely more of the pipe dream. I do think that the Blazers will be involved in some way or shape or form because those picks have value. But I do think it's going to be more either depth plays or maybe they can get a starter. It's just not a Giannis type that they have to get rid of. Now, a guy that I've loved for a while, I honestly thought it was going to be a Blazer target during the offseason. Didn't go that way, but like a Jabari Smith Jr. You get in on a deal and you get a guy like that. The guy who can come in, be a starting big, and just absolutely do everything you need to do. Rebound the ball, shoot the ball, all those things. You know, all those things that you need to do to be a good basketball player. I know I'm being like right on the nose here, but that's what I feel like is going to happen. I think Portland ends up being the third or fourth team. Maybe one of those picks and the salary dump goes, and they end up bringing someone in that's very, very valuable to how they're building their roster currently. I just don't think it's Giannis. Now, don't get me wrong. That is not me saying you don't go trade for Giannis because there's risk involved. That's something that I've argued against nonstop here, that sometimes you have to take the risk. Being afraid to take the risk has done you more harm than good. You cannot continue to live with the ghosts of Jermaine O'Neal, worrying that the guy you trade out might become an all-star, especially if the guy you're getting in is Giannis, the Greek freak. I mean, it's a package deal getting him and Thanasis, but you know what I'm saying. So that's your rumor roundup. There is no true rumors right now outside of the ones that, like I said, fans and NBA, ESPN trade machines have cooked up. Not a lot to really chew on yet, outside of the fact that Milwaukee's listening to calls and Giannis is a little more open to being traded at this point. It might not happen now. It might end up happening in the offseason where, again, all the teams wanting to be involved with Giannis have those assets then. But at the same time, we never know what's going on, and we don't even know what a good trade is anymore because we, as in the media, we're all sitting in media row watching the Blazers play when we all thought Shams was hacked when he let the world know that Luka had been traded to L.A., and nobody believed it until other reporters started tweeting about it and Shams doubled down. And next thing you know, it was on ESPN's homepage. And we were like, oh, yeah, Luka did get traded at the trade deadline, one of the biggest stars in the NBA for all-star and a first-round pick and not a lot else. Okay, I don't know how the trade machine or deadline works anymore. So that's all I know. That's all I know. Jackson says, Dame and Giannis part 2. If it were to happen, it would be good. Maybe it'd be like Terminator 2 where the sequel's better than the first one. But I don't like this notion that they did not work in Milwaukee. They worked in Milwaukee. They were good in Milwaukee. A, they had a very small time together, but B, it was just that Achilles hurt everything. That Achilles derailed a lot of the potential that they had. They played well together. It worked. But that Milwaukee team also just had like no depth to put around them either. It was not the roster that they thought. That being said, you put those two with Denny, young DC. I kind of like where you're at. I do kind of like where you're at. But I didn't want to get rid of Shaden Sharp. You get rid of anyone on that team if it means that Giannis brings you a championship and there is a parade going down Broadway one day. That's worth it. Jackson says, in my opinion, they don't have a great supporting cast. Doc is a mediocre coach, and they had some untimely injuries, but that's just really my opinion. Now, I don't know if that's really your opinion as much as it is pretty much it's closer to factual. Their supporting cast was not great. That's true. They had some good players. Like, I mean, who doesn't like Bobby Portis and all that? But again, their depth outside of like their top 7 was not good. You've already seen Jay Crowder go out on social media talk about we were doing good till Giannis or till Doc Rivers came in. He's the one who really muddied it up. And then you had the injuries. There are a lot of teams who can be really good, and sometimes injuries derail them, and it just doesn't work out. And then you got to cut bait quickly as fast as you can to make it work. That's what that's what the Bucks did. They said, okay, we're going to move off Dame. He's hurt. We're going to try to fix this thing. And then their big free agent splash was Miles Turner. And I thought it was weird when that happened. Miles Turner and Giannis together. Okay. I don't know if that works as my 1-2 punch. It would work if Turner was like your 4th punch. But again, we'll see what happens. All I know is this is the biggest domino in all of this is what happens with Giannis. Because if they start seeing that he's not going to be traded by the deadline, then teams might start moving. If he is traded, then teams might start moving. But if there's this hiccup and this holdup, I don't think there's going to be a lot of movement. We shall see. This is Blazers Game Day. We're going to take our final break of the show. And we come back. It's time for my keys to the game. What do the Blazers need to do to get a win over the New York Knicks? I will let you know when we return here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you. I do have a funny text here I was reading during the break. It says, "Hi CB, are you related to KB? You both do a great job." He and TB did a great job calling the Seahawks game. Now all those abbreviations, he's obviously talking about Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt. And I don't know the answer to that. It's a question that I've wondered myself. I was like, it would be kind of cool to be related to him, so that two guys with the random last name of Burkhardt both work in the sports media realm. Like, I wouldn't be the 10th cousin or relative who's like, hey, give me some money or hook me up with a job. I would just think like, dude, that's kind of cool. I have no idea if I'm related to Kevin Burkhardt, though. He does spell it with the D, though. Burkhardt, and most of the Burkhardts you see have just the T, so you never know. I got to run into him one day. I guess I need to cover more NFL games. All right, what do the Blazers need to do to win this game tonight against the Knicks? They just need to play solid. I thought the game they played against the Knicks last time around was incredible. Defensively, though, they got to lock in around the three-point arc. The Knicks had 46 three-point attempts in that game. They made 17 of them good for 37%. And every single time the Blazers would make a run and it looked like they might take a lead late in that fourth quarter, there was a big three, whether it was Mikal Bridges or Miles McBride or Jalen Brunson, who had himself a good game. like you got to be ready for those guys. They're going to hit those big shots. It's what they do. And they have balance. It's what we talked about last time they played. In that game right there, all five starters scored at least 18 points. Bench wasn't very active. The bench for the Knicks scored 17 points to 42 for the Blazers, but you know that they got great production in that starting lineup. They got great balance with a bunch of guys who can hit those open shots and get at you. So that's what you got to do. Defensively, you got to be sound, and you really got to watch that three-point arc, where New York is a team that likes to take them, and they tend to make them. So you got to be ready for that. The other thing you got to be ready for against a team like New York is they do not turn the ball over very much. They are very, very smart with that basketball in hand. When it comes to turning the ball over, they are number 5 in the league for fewest turnovers, just 13.9 last time they matched up. Blazers had 12 turnovers forced against them. Meanwhile, the Blazers still last in the league at 16.9. And the worst part about being at 16.9 is it's not even close, because the next worst team is Utah at 15.8. That's more than a whole turnover. So the Blazers have to continue to be sound there and try their best. They had a good stretch over this recent few weeks where they've been playing good ball, where they have averaged fewer turnovers than normal. They need to get back to that tonight against the Knicks. And you heard earlier when we played the coach's corner with Thiago at practice, and he was asked by Casey Holdall, what do you guys do at practice, and what was the focus? And turnovers. We turned the ball over too much in that game against Washington, a lot of lazy turnovers. So I think that's going to be a point of emphasis tonight. So you really have to lock in there and take control of the ball and understand that New York isn't going to turn the ball over a lot. They're not used to it. So if you can force turnovers and really get into them defensively, that's going to be good for you. Looking at you, Tumani Kamara, really need to get you going. Now, I said if we got an update before the show was done, I would give it to you on the health. And the update is minimal, but still not the update that we necessarily need yet. But according to Casey Holdall and our Sean Hyken, who are both on the road with the Blazers, Denny Avdia and Robert Williams are game time decisions. Game time decisions. They're going through their pregame workouts, but a decision has not been made on whether they will play or not. So you just got to watch and learn and see what happens. All right, music means it's time to go. I'm going to get out of here, get ready to watch some basketball, but you can keep it locked in, because coming up next, the principal, Curtis Long, has the Trailblazers pregame show across the Trailblazers audio network. And then following that, it's Blazers versus Knicks back in his hometown. Travis Demers on the call. And of course, when it's all said and done, you know what to do. You keep it locked in right here to Rip City Radio for the 5th quarter, where hopefully we're breaking down a Trailblazers victory. Tonight, it's Knicks versus Blazers at Madison Square Garden. Rip City, I'll talk to you after the game.